Good to see you, Isaac. Good to see you, Tal, and Thomas. Not leaving Thomas out.
It's both daytime for us, man.
Including an hour ago. So this is the first of the focused meeting on the secure development leader staff meeting with a focus on secure versus secure and govern, and also growth in the past as we've split the teams. We put this meeting to Isaac and Tal. You haven't been in one of these before, I think. So we put this meeting on unfiltered, which is great for transparency and et cetera. Just don't mention any customer names, anything confidential. We'll stop the public recording to discuss anything company confidential. So note the new meeting schedule, agenda, and focus. We're focused on secure. And we can talk about other things, but not govern, as Phil has a similar meeting for that. The agenda is the same kind of agenda. And the schedule is, since now we have a split with this different focus and also Tal joining, a split between those in APAC and those in EMEA. So I'm going to do it every other week at a different time. One time that's good for APAC, one for EMEA, and then for folks who can't make one because for whatever reason, it's the middle of the night, they're not their time, or they just rather not come since all meetings are optional, is to participate async. So read the agenda. If any action item shows up for some, comment on it. If you have an action item that comes out of it, we'll let you know. So that kind of thing. Next item, welcome Tal to the team again.
Hi all, thank you. Great to be here. Lovely team here, and loving every moment until now. So super excited, great to be here.
Cool. So I know we've met before. I think you haven't met Isaac or maybe not Amr before either.
Amr, yes. Isaac, no.
Isaac and Amr and Tal.
So I'm Tal from Israel. I've just been onboarded with some past teammates, and we're just getting our hands on the material and getting to know the folks around us. And I think we're having fun until now, and the technology is super great, and we're loving to work on it. Nice to meet you all.
So you're doing the check boxes?
Yeah, all of them. I mean, maybe 1/100th of them. I don't know why I said all of them.
Isaac and Amr, you want to do quick introductions?
Oh, yeah. So I am Isaac. I am the principal research with Vulnerability Research Group, mainly focusing on all of our products and services for secure and a little bit of govern. Yeah, if there's any kind of research topics, we kind of try to spearhead those, and then we get buy-in, we hand them off to product and services, and we go from there. So.
And Tal, we've met, but I'll intro myself again anyway. I'm the EM of secure static analysis / secret detection. That's shaking out as we speak. I am based out of North Carolina. I am primarily responsible for secret detection and code quality within the secure stage. And the North Carolina thing is new. Yes.
Yeah. Newly located in North Carolina. I recall that.
Cool. Thomas, last week you mentioned number 3, you went over all the metrics, and you're able to take a look at all of them to see what was out of normal range, which that is not a bad thing or a good thing, just something to look at. Might be something to be excited about, might be something to be concerned about. And the one you didn't have a chance to look at last week was the team MR rate. So where did this land? You got a chance to look at this week.
Yeah, this moved to Tableau and took a while to find it in a way that is filterable by stage and by group. So it is here, stage wide. I mean, and we've always been outliers for the rest of the organization. Development wide, this lands around, it's around 10 MRs per month. I forgot to include that here. Like, I think it's 10.11. For the stage, we're at 67.5, which is about par for the course, though it's a little bit below our usual standards. So this includes, for those that are not familiar with this is every merge request to projects which are part of product tall. I'll tell you how to know which one those are later. And so um, it includes anything that is tagged with group labels and DevOps labels, particularly. That's how we know if this is for secure or if it's for an individual group itself. And so stage wide 67.5, fantastic, leading the way, vulnerability research as usual. And so we've got some these are lower than I expected. And composition analysis, I understand. I think that's a great place for them to be, especially since their work is moving over to has moved over to working out of the Rails platform more than anything else. We typically see the work on our analyzer projects, MRs tend to be higher. And so this is something that is worth looking into as to what's happening there. The other aspect of this is we've got a non-trivial amount of merge requests which lack group labels, which means they are not attributed to any one of these groups that are here. And there's a link for the analyzers group itself. This does not include our test projects. That's another link entirely. You can't go up a level, like we time out on those searches if we try to do everything. And from our SaaS rule contractors, those are coming in as community contributions. And so it's
they shouldn't be. They should be
be more.
contractor contributions now.
Okay.
It was fixed
They
at
were.
some point. Maybe there's.
It's probably half and half. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I remember, even though I was looking at, so yikes on
Mhm.
vulnerability research showing is 50.
Mhm.
Not sure why that is. It's probably the SaaS contractors and things not being, regularly. So glad you jumped on this, Thomas, and I'll take the action item research because
Okay.
50 is obviously not the real number.
Usually it's the
because we have
advisory
7 people
database and
doing it that
CNA
are
work
not
that
listed
drives
as
this.
people. Say again?
It's usually the advisory database and CNA work that drives VR's MR rate.
Oh, yeah. In this case, it might be, but you said this case, it's probably the MRs and the rule contractors,
It
which
could
are
be.
probably not listed as contributors as being paid by GitLab contributors, more community. So it probably shows 4 people contributing or 5 people contributing when it's actually 11. Although that would make it. So I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I think the contractors on average, so there's 7 of them on that team, of which 2 are part-time. So call that 6, and they're doing about 1 to 2 MRs a week.
Well,
Ish.
ish. Well, I mean, you got so they're working on one issue or 2 or 3 issues, but there's usually 2 MRs per issue because you have the real world app and then you have
Merging 2 MRs a week, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Rough numbers is, so the number should be close to, for them, would that be 2 times 4, 8 a month-ish. So I don't know why those numbers, it's probably the contractors and more. But it's just fine. We'll figure it out. Thanks for pointing it out, Thomas. We can get this correct. And Isaac, since you're focusing on other things, don't focus on this. I got it. I don't want you to, I would rather spend my time on these things than you.
appreciate it.
I have an overlapping meeting. Just curiosity, is this per week essentially? Is that why there's a decimal rate?
Every other week.
It's every bi-weekly this measurement. Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thanks, Thomas. So on number 4, just an FYI, I'm excited to be working on this key result KR with Isaac and others. We're really helping move the needle on customer adoption of secure. So it's analyzing the 10 most recent secure stage deals, churn, et cetera, contraction, and create a plan from an engineering perspective and create a plan. Lots of good stuff has come out of that already. I need to do the next pass of it. Things like better support for filtering and viewing vulnerabilities is one. None of these are a big surprise, but it's great to kind of validate. Another is higher quality rules and more rules to cover more things, which we're already working on. The SaaS rules team is working on that. But also support of additional frameworks, and of mono repos. That was 2 trends that I don't think were specifically tracked as things that would, as high priority things from a PM perspective, because we didn't do this analysis to really know that, and now we do. So I think those are 3 of the big takeaways for me. I'm going to look into it further, the 4 of them, but that's my summary so far, but I need to get a couple hours, which I will next week to really lean into it. Is that a good summary, Isaac?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Thomas, you got number 5?
All right, summit posters. They look great. And so here's the PDFs for all of them across the stage. And so it's in case people haven't had a chance to look at it. And this is just a friendly reminder, if folks have not turned the content into Handbook and Marsh, please do so. That way we get continued benefit of curating this content itself.
So I already did the MR for vulnerability research, and thanks for highlighting this, Thomas, and also thanks for collaborating with me, Isaac, on the VR poster.
I'm not gonna lie though, dynamic analysis puts us all to shame looking at theirs.
Yeah.
Now
I
it's
don't know if you looked at all of them. Some of them take a lot of creative liberty with their slides.
oh wow.
No, I love the fact that there's a crawler in the middle of that. I think that was
Yeah, that was nice.
that's a
Chef's
nice
kiss
touch.
touch.
Sarah's suggestion.
Neat.
So
I don't think number 6 is confidential, Thomas, right?
okay, if you don't think it's confidential, particularly since it's been merged now, I wanted to call this out. There's a split happening in static analysis that formally creates a secret detection group. And so this is news. I think this was merged overnight. So breaking news. You heard it here first. There will be a text announcement coming later. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm being a nerd. So anyway, we're doing a split so that SAST. I think the SAST team is continuing on as static analysis, and we're creating a secret detection group. This is not saying that we're downplaying code quality, which goes with it, but it's this allows us to formally codify this as 2 separate groups within the stage. And there will be a lot more work to come out of this because we're going to have to split out handbooks, handbook loops and labels and everything else. So we'll start working on that shortly.
Who's top of mind for everyone? And somebody who hasn't spoken yet, is there a way of doing things, Sal? Is if somebody's not here, we still read it, and just somebody volunteers to read it. So doesn't need to be you, but somebody who hasn't spoken much yet, looking for a volunteer to verbalize.
I can vocalize Lucas because it's kind of related to something I want to do. So he's talking about running security scans anywhere on demand outside of pipelines. He's looking at Project Runway as a viable path for scanners as a service. And he's worried about passing large contexts. For example, that static analysis engine needs an entire code base. So he's going to look at Duo Code Suggestions handles RAG, which is LLM stuff. And this is actually something that I was going to also look at using AI models for trying to do program analysis. So I'm going to have a chat with him, see what he's thinking. And I'll take the next one. It's fine. So I created a template for how VR should create research proposals. The primary driver for this is to make sure that PM and engineering is aligned on what VR wants to research. And it also, as I was writing up the issue, I realized I could go the other way, where if PM wants us to research something on the VR team, this is a good way or format that they can come up with and use to pitch ideas to us to see if there's any potential for collaboration on it. And actually, it probably doesn't even need to be PMs. It could be anybody if they wanted to collaborate on something. So threw that out there. The goal is to keep it short, simple, get the point across. I don't want to see like 40 pages of academic literature for a proposal. I just want to see like, here's what we want to do. Here's the customer need for it. Here's how long we'll think it'll take, and then go from there.
Thomas, you're talking on mute. As I was also talking on mute, as I was trying to tell you that you were talking on mute.
I mean, you can't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. So anyway, I'll quote more movies next week. But in any case, industry standards around detection rules, particular focus on true positive and false positive rates on those across all of our feature categories. And the reason that I'm focusing in on this or top of mind is I'm wanting to understand what we need to develop on in the engines in order to improve those. It's not about the rules themselves, it's about what we can detect with confidence.
Does this In terms of like battle card style, like you want percentages on like how certain products do, like how Veracode, what their FP rate is, or am I misreading this?
I'm not really looking at what I like that. I'm not thinking battle card, though that's kind of a direct, like a corollary to it. It's more of like industry standards, a true positive rate for a rule in this type of detection should be X.
Do you find that? Let me know.
I know. And honestly, I think this may be a UX research study, to be quite honest. And so,
Yeah, I mean, we would need customers who are using other tools to get that information because,
but so it's like I said, it's all about what do we need? What do we need within the engines to improve? And how does this inform roadmap? That's why it's top of mind.
Is you're breaking it down by, I mean, there's lots of different engines. So for example, I'm aware of, composition analysis, vulnerability detection, and I could see how that could be improved. Is there like a central document where thoughts like that are organized? So I could maybe take a look at that. That's interesting.
Only here, but it's going to an issue soon. So, right.
I have yet to achieve access to your new house, so maybe I'll come look for it later.
If you do get access to my new house, I will be deeply concerned. And so anyway, moving on. Yeah.
Top of mind for me, I've just been deep diving into exactly end-to-end how we process CWEs from OWASP. It gets expressed in YAML all the way down to our DAST tools, API security, and DAST, the browser tool itself. Just noticing like there's way too many issues, OKRs everywhere floating around. Why aren't we just supporting this check? Why aren't we supporting that check? Why do we have to have these checks? And just trying to figure out ways to automate the whole process better end to end to make sure that it's a little bit more headless and less humans involved across the board, specifically for API security going forward as well. So it's a lot of research I've been doing lately.
From my end, we've been moving forward with the beta iteration on pre-received secret detection. The team is currently refining all the issues associated to that. We've narrowed down the scope, and we've just been sort of reorganizing it into themes across how we plan to achieve the beta iteration. So been primarily working through that with Connor. And in addition to this, as Thomas mentioned above, there's probably going to be a lot of admin related tasks now that the group split has been pushed forward. So be contributing to those and making sure we're able to get everything split accordingly.
Still in the process of onboarding, making sure my team has all resources needed to continue learning the systems and the structure and the workflows needed to function properly. Personally, I've discussed with Thiago the possibility of taking Gymnasium and splitting it to smaller chunks, maybe using CI components. As I understand, it's an epic that is on the table. I've been working on a POC in that area and intend to continue working on it until Summit, and then passing it on.
And for me, the key result mentioned above on the customer analysis and also SaaS tool team process optimizations. I've got one example of merge request I'm working on that. So in the spirit of meetings end when they end, not when the time is up. So that's the end of the agenda. Let's get led way. Thanks, everybody.